But it's low risk, potentially high reward for the Skins. They don't give him any money. They try him out for a couple of weeks. If he doesn't impress and doesn't look good, you cut him and you just move on.
Right.
That you can even cut him before the season starts and bring him back. I think after week 1,
Right,
and without guaranteeing him any sort of money. So I mean, there's very little risk for the Redskins.
Let me ask you this: if
respect.
P. Ryan wasn't banged up and Marshall wasn't banged up, would they have signed him?
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think they would have been in the market.
No.
No, but they have, and what I hope that they do is they give him a shot to be the #1 back. Rob Kelley, I've seen it. It's less than spectacular.
Look,
his
it's a
yards
small
per
sample
carry
size.
stinks.
His yards per carry this preseason is 2.1.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a ton of carries, but we know the book on Rob Kelley. We get it. I like the story. I like the fact that he's come out of nowhere to do what he's done and make an NFL roster. But if you want to compete, you have to have a better running back than Rob Kelley.
I think Adrian Peterson actually has more potential at 33 than what Rob Kelley has. Rob Kelley is meat and potatoes running back. You know what you're going to get. He'll probably give you, if you gave him 15 to 20 carries, he's going to give you 55 to 75 yards.
You'd be happy with a 60-yard performance.
Right. That's what he's going to give you.
You'd be thrilled with that.
He might have one 11-yard carry and a lot of 2- and 3-yard gains.
Rob Kelley's normal game is a bad game for AP. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So I don't
So I
disagree
hope
with you
Adrian
there.
Peterson actually gets a lot of carries. From what I read yesterday, they may give him a lot of carries in the next 2 preseason games.
See what he's
So
got.
give him a lot of carries and see if he can be the guy who gets the ball on first down. Because I don't think he's going to be the guy, as you mentioned with New Orleans, who's going to get 5 or 6 carries and be successful.
Right.
But I think he could be the starter over Rob Kelley.
The whole
But
thing
if you
is
want to see any production, you got to give him the ball a bunch of times.
Yeah. It's just weird to me.
He's
His
not
boy
gonna
Trent Williams, who he played with in college, I guess, said he hasn't slowed down a step.
Well, of course he's going to be his biggest cheerleader. I mean,
what's he supposed to say?
Well, I believe that.
They co-own a gym together. They're buddies.
I bet you if you timed him in the 40s, he's probably pretty close.
Right.
to what
That's
it's
what I'm
always
saying.
been.
I don't think there's necessarily a physical drop-off. I think a lot of these running backs, as you mentioned, the league kind of decides we don't want them at an older age because they're making more money. And they can find somebody who's making a lot less money who's comparable.
Right.
That is a disposable position in the NFL.
Well, I do think a lot of those guys' skills do diminish because of just all the punishment and the hits that they take. I think you're kind of you're minimizing that.
It's true, but I don't think it just smashes into the wall as much as they're not used.
Correct.
I don't know how to articulate that well, but I think that they just get to a certain point, they make a ton of money. I think JP's right. And they bring in younger and cheaper.
Look at the Steelers. They do not want to get Le'Veon Bell a big fat contract because they know they can go with somebody younger. Might not give them absolute numbers that Le'Veon Bell will give them down the road, but they figure he's going to slow down a little bit. We'll just get a 22-year-old. We're not paying that much.
I would bet if you gave Rob Kelley 150 carries in this offense and you gave Adrian Peterson 150 carries in this offense, I would bet my money that Adrian Peterson is more productive at the end of it.
Sure.
JP's right.
Probably. I mean, he's the better
Rob
player.
Kelley's not special. He's
but he is
average.
33, and if you want to see legit production, you got to give him the ball a ton of times. If you're willing to do that,
They're not going to do that. Though.
I don't know.
They're not going.
He's going to have a ton of games. If he makes a team, he's going to have a ton of games where he's got 20 carries for 35 yards. That's just what he's done the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Peterson?
Yeah.
You're right.
Unless, he's going to give you those
There are a few
2
outliers.
or 3 games where 25 for $150.
Yeah.
But there's a reason he's on his 3rd team in 2 years.
Right.
But there are some people, of course, naturally, because it's a name, that are excited for it. If you want to chime in, 800-636-1067. Are you excited for the move? Do you think this is going to work for the Redskins? A lot of people were saying, okay, this is what they used to do. They used to bring in the big names. They had to bring in somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, none of us yesterday could figure out why isn't it Orleans Darkwa. Seems like younger guy, averaged 4.4 yards per carry last year.
Right.
Actually had a huge game against the Redskins.
Would have been my choice.
But they go with Adrian Peterson instead.
It's a big swing. I mean, it costs them nothing. I also, can't imagine, though, that Adrian would sign knowing that it's going to be like a 2-week tryout, and basically, P. Ryan's in a boot for a week. He's going to probably come back and they're going to cut him.
He signs looking at it like, well, I just have to be a Rob Kelley and Sammy P. Ride.
Yeah, but I
do that in my
wonder if
freaking
there
sleep.
are any quiet like sort of like they say, hey, listen, just go out there and show us that you're healthy. You know, wink like.
Yep.
Because I just can't imagine he'd sign here to be a fodder, to take carries, to reduce the workload on the other guys.
Well, he is also. You have to factor he's desperate.
Well, who else wants
there
him?
aren't many suitors for him at this point.
Right. Now, let's assume there are no other suitors. But would you even still do that? Like if you pretty much thought you were just going to be training camp fodder for 2 weeks, and then P. Ryan's supposedly out for a week.
Depends what your agent says. Maybe the agent says, "Look, I've called every team.
Yeah,
This is the only
opportunity you have.
and this is the only way."
But it's only
going to
be 2 weeks.
Is you have to show yourself in the preseason, then maybe somebody's going to be interested. Much like Teddy Bridgewater's. Apparently now there are 2 teams interested in Teddy Bridgewater, and he knew Teddy Bridgewater. He's not going to win the job over Sam.
Yeah,
Darnold,
but he knew he was going to be on the roster all year.
But
worst case,
but show something in the preseason and teams get interested. So maybe his agent tells him, "Hey, this isn't a favorable deal. They might cut you in 2 weeks, but you're going to get a chance to play in the preseason." Which
I guess
years ago you didn't have to play in the preseason, but now you got to show something.
Because I'm not convinced he's going to be there on opening day.